So welcome everyone. Thanks once again. So today we are going to have the faculty's reviews. As I already shared the rundown to all of you. Each group will have 30 minutes. So ensure that your presentations maybe about 10 to 15 minutes so you can get the most out of our three faculties that we have today. We have Pedro, we have Mats, and we have Victor. Later on, for group 8, there will be Prof. Togar also, and hopefully he will also join us until the end of the session to that. So without further ado, so I'll apologize. There are some technical problems, so we are start quite late. So maybe we can go straight to group 2. Pa Hafil.
This one, yeah.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah.
Good
So
luck.
good morning. Good morning, everyone. My name is Hafil. I'm representing my team from Group 2, and we are sorry because actually we need to present this last week, but due to the technical problem, we still need to gain more information from the provincial government of Bali. So here we are now trying to present our progress. So our project is about persona-based executive dashboard. So the outline will be about my team, the challenges, the solution, and the progress report that we have been done. So I mean, what we have done before. Okay, so this is my team. Hafil, and on the project leader, Mr. Alpha as data analyst, Mr. Acheng as data government expert, Ms. Ida as a knowledge container, Mr. Joe as IT consultant, Mbak Nur Cahyani as IT consultant as well, Niputu as a data report and support, and Mr. Andre as a business analyst. So initially, we are offered 3 challenges from Bali provincial government, and after a long discussion, we decide to choose the challenge number 2 is about data-driven policy. Basically, the data-driven policy is a dashboard that can be used by the executives in order to choose and decide what policy to be taken. But the dashboard itself is not a new thing for the government. Basically, they have a Bali1 Data, Bali1 Data is their platform, and actually they have utilized this dashboard for a couple of years. And what we offer here, we are trying to compare the data they have with the external data that can be gained from the external resources from the BPS or statistical agency, or for instance, we have an external team here from the Telkom and Mandiri. We can gain like a transaction data. We can gain like information of internet user, for instance, from Telkom. That's what we are trying to offer. So they have one data, and we're trying to compare with the useful information from external. But we add some unique or added value here, which is called persona-based dashboard. Why is persona-based dashboard? The dashboard itself should be specifically and uniquely designed for the users. On this context is about the Bali governor. So we're trying to make him convenient and comfortable enough to use the system. While he is comfortable and happy to use the system, we are expecting that he can utilize more the system and he can use the most of the system to decide the useful policy. But when we're trying to compare the data with the external data, it comes with many challenges like incomplete and inaccurate data, non-standardized data, duplication of data, and sometimes the data itself is mined from the different time period. So many things to do, and one of them is data integration. Yeah, I am also including the different format and what we call the cleaning data. Okay, for this slide, this is the internal data from Bali1 Data and also the external data. We expect to have a lot of data here, and actually the solution itself ideally could be transformed into 3 steps. The first one is the comparison level, is the initial stages. The medium stages is about to project the data based on the historical data, and the third one is the most advanced, is about to what we call to train the data, so it will automatically can suggest the user of what policy needs to be taken based on the data given. So this is the ultimate one. We can use the chat GPT, data analytics, and machine learning, and etc. And we're trying to choose the data what we are going to show, like here, economy, living, society, and our environment. And at the end, it will be shown at the persona-based executive dashboard. On these challenges, we are dividing our team into two. First one is data integration, and second one is the persona-based executive dashboard. On the data integration, as I mentioned before about the data challenges, we need to identify the different data formats. We need to connect the data sources. We need to map the data sources as well. And we're trying to see the quality of the data. We need to assess the data quality and transform and combine the data. On the other side, on the persona-based executive dashboard group, we are trying to identify the user persona, define his needs, and choose what platform we're going to provide. And we're trying to design virtually the design, the copywriting, the color, the tables, and etc. And at the end, we're trying to make the final design of the personal data. And the phase 3 is about the ultimate system of the dashboard, about utilizing the 5D analytics, data analytics, machine learning, ChatGPT. And for the data integration, we have two main activities. The first one is defining and collecting group of data, and the second one is grouping and combining the data. For the first one, we have done the defining and collecting group data stages. We have already met with the team SPBE team, and we're trying to see what data is available for us to assess. And they came with the many report group and files. They have a lot of report and document files based on the sector, based on the subject, and the location as well. The deliverables of this project, we are expecting to have the ultimate deliverables of system implementation, of course. But due to many constraints, like the time constraints, at that time we only given like 2 months, and capability constraint, we are like not full-time working on this project, and the complexity is about the data integration is quite complex, and the data security constraint is about the confidential data. Sometimes on the real case, we need to make like a MOU, or we need to prepare some agreement. This is something we cannot prepare on the short time. So from the ultimate deliverables, we are discussing with HDX team, and we agreed to deliver it until the prototype. For the implementation, actually, there is a lot of scheme. First one is you build by your local resources, or you can just buy from the well-established company that can provide the system. And the other one is the borrowing scheme. So you can have a strategic partnership with Telkom or with Mandiri, maybe, in order to implement the system or the dashboard you want to do. Because at this stage and on this program, my group is only finished on prototype. So this is our project plan. We are already in first week of June, and we've done the persona-based executive dashboard and the data integration. For the rest of the week, we're trying to design, and we will have a stakeholders review and do the detailing and finalizing stages until later on July 8th. We are going to show our project. This is the demo for the admin menu. This is the mock-up dashboard for the executives. So we are expecting to see this what we call this display like this. And for the data integration, we are agreed to choose the data from the tourism, population, SPBE, agriculture, and health. This is the mock-up of the dashboard. For the report until the 2nd June, we are doing the user persona. This is I want to tell you a bit about the user persona. User persona is a fictional representation of ideal characteristic of target of user. So on this, we want to make the user convenient to use our system. This is the user personas example. Like we are trying to map the age, the occupation, the status, and then what the goals of the target. So we can understand the user better. We can make them loyal to us. We can bring more focus for the target using our system, and later on we can evaluate and analyze what additional need or further needs of the user. So basically, persona is only one tools to know the customer centricity, because the other toolkit like a usability testing, design sprint could be used as well. And we can do this on each part of the business process, like a strategic marketing is for the data analytics, for internal process, for gaining the user experience, gaining more of user experiences, and we can uh, add more our value process proposition and business model design. If we're talking about companies, is a bit different right now because we are working for the government, not for profit-oriented companies, but the frameworks is quite the same. So I want to show you that in US case, the company that implement design based on persona to their integral part of business has shown that the design software companies like the list on the left has uh, has already leading the performance of the S&P 500 companies. I mean, the S&P 500 companies is like a major companies in US, and compared to the decentralized companies, decentralized companies has shown significant performance. So we can see that the design itself is a quite important part of the business, and I'm hoping the benefit it only applies to us in the government sector. So the persona is not about only one customer; it's about actual customer. So on this case, the executive is about the governor of Bali and the deputy governor of Bali, and also the secretary of a government provincial government. And yeah, we need to ask them to see what he needs. So actually we can do certain activities in order to formulate the personas. The first one is about the fiction based perspective. So this one is about assumption. It's not recommended, but for the first stage we need to make assumption. The second one is about goal directed perspective, is about the aim of the user, and the second one is about role based perspective. We want to know the background of the user, who really they are, what is their job, what is their duty regarding using the system. And also the engaging perspective is about the value of life, the political position, the lifestyle, and any other interest that can influence how they use the system. This is the example of the persona. So the process of the developing the persona, we can set the objective, we can map the source of the data. After that, we can analyze the data and building the personas and trying to finalize and use the persona to achieve the objective. On this case, we because our target is not is only limited 3%. It's easy for us to do the interview, and not only the interview, we do also the contextual research. This thing is very beneficial for us in order to see the user profile, the personality, the reference, and also the technological expertise. We want to assess also how they can interact with the system, the devices. That's what we're going to find in the interview session. So interview session is also one of the research toolkit on building the persona. So we actually divide the question in a 5 type. First one is the general information of users. Second one is problem discovery, solution discovery, problem validation, and solution validation. After the interview, there will be brainstorming, and the mapping and organizing, and the finalization. And the last one is sketching. We're trying to make a mock-up of the dashboard based on the persona we have already gained before. So on the June 13th, my group, the representative of my group, had an interview session with the head of planning, control, and evaluation from Bapeda. So Bapeda was appointed to represent Governor of Bali and Bali Regional Secretary. I know it will not 100% represent the persona of the Bali governor, but we expect they can tell us more about the involvement of Bali governor. And we came with the long list, as you can see on the slide, and we actually have put them in the Google Drive, so you all can access it. So this is the result of the user. The user is Dr. Wayan Koster. We know that he is the governor of Bali, and he actually used to be a researcher and lecturer before having a political career with the PDIP. And before working as the governor, he was a member of DPR RI on a Commission X, in charge in education, culture, tourism, creative economy, youth, and sport. And he has a concern to preserve Bali local culture and ecological sustainability. And he has a huge concern on education because previously he was a researcher, and he is a peace activist, and he expects to have a compact and simple data on the dashboard, meaningful data, and elaborated with sentences which highlight the findings and suggest what to do, not only the data itself. And he has a branding logo called Nangun Satkerti Loka Bali, and it's mandatory to be put on every deck of presentation or every opportunity of his appearance. This branding logo should be put. And Bali itself is the development in Bali refers to 3 main aspects, namely nature, manners, and culture. And the sector that he is looking is about the indigenous culture, tourism, waste and environmental management, organic culture, education, health, social security, supported by sustainable infrastructure. After this persona, we are trying to visualize the findings. We're trying to formulate the copywriting, and we're trying to set up the color palette, and we are designing the flow of the system. This is the prototype from the data integration group. You can see on the slide. This is the tourism sector is very simple because we haven't put the uniqueness part from the persona. This is about the people data, the agriculture, health, and the SPBE. I think that's all from group 2. I'm looking forward from your review. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pa Hafid. Yay! Okay, let me pass to maybe Mats. Would you like to give your few comments?
Absolutely, and thank you very much, Hafid. I'm very impressed, both from the presentation and also from the PKC. The first one is to update the PKC with all the slides and all the new information that you provided today. So please update the PKC. My first question is, or comment is around the team. You were talking about the team members and you divided the team into different roles.
Yeah.
Did you make the roles according to the profession they already have, or did you also challenge the people involved so they learn new things according to the educational part?
So basically, yeah. So basically,
is everyone active and learn a lot?
So, before I answer, maybe I'll look for my team. Is anyone want to answer Matt's question? Anyone?
Yeah.
Are you doing the same as you do normally, or are you learning a lot new things?
Yeah, Mbak Sininta, maybe you can answer.
Hello, Mats.
Hello.
When we divide the group into two mini groups, we divide it based on, first is our interest in such topic, and the second, it's not based on our expertise. As you can see, not all of our members have expertise in data integration or building a database, a website. So this is a challenge, especially for me. I'm not an IT person and I just a user on a daily basis. So 80% maybe from our member try to challenge ourselves to learn this in the mini groups. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, for the addition, like I'm trying to find what persona itself. So I buy like courses on internet to look for how we can gain the persona base, because I need the theory as the basis for my research. So yeah, actually we challenge ourselves to do this project.
You guys embody the challenge project work. Everyone is challenged.
Okay. I have one more comment.
Yeah, please.
Yes, Budesi.
Yes, along with what Chininta said before, that I felt grateful in this group because I learned a lot, and actively Hafil, even he has a lot of information, but he shared it to us. Every week we have a meeting, so he or another team who has a lot of information always teach us. Yeah, include me. I mean, specifically me, specific me. I mean, because yeah, as same as Chininta, I also is not proficient in ICT before. I just a user, so while I learned about persona before, I just think when we gain the information about persona, it's simple like maybe what's the colors that governors like, only only that. But when I learned about what is persona itself, oh, it's quite a lot information that I gained. Thank you.
Thank you. I will leave time to Victor and Pedro.
Yes. Maybe Pedro or Victor, would you like to add some comments?
I can go
maybe.
first, or Victor. Okay, Victor,
Maybe
you can.
Victor,
So, yes, can you guys hear me?
clearly.
I'm on a ferry. Not sure if you can.
Clearly.
Okay,
Clearly,
great.
Victor.
Okay, great. Yeah, well, I think it's really interesting. In particular, you guys propose to have this persona dashboard. That will be really useful, other than just a, classical dashboard. But my main concern or uncertainty is that there are actually two types of data. The first one is the data that is entered or specified by the user. So the user will select a username, select their occupations, and all this. So those data will be provided by the user. That's number one. But I think the more useful data would be the one that you can collect from other sources, from other organizations. So, and those data can help you to analyze the behavior.
Okay. I think we are losing
about the
Victor.
users and the populations.
Okay.
Like align this data. Hello?
Sorry, Victor, you were cut out in a bit. Maybe turning off your video can help. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can turn, it's okay to turn off your video. Maybe that will be helpful. We were cut out for you about the last behavioral data. Okay, maybe group 2, did you get what questions from Prof. Victor? Maybe you can respond.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, it's okay now. Yeah, yes.
Okay,
it's okay.
Okay, I switch because I'm now in Hong Kong, so I have to switch the network from China to Hong Kong.
Oh, fancy. So, okay.
Yeah. So my main concern is about the types of the data that you can crawl from other sources. In particular, how could you like align the data? I mean, if you have an ID, okay, and the ID is unique, then you can align the data. But if you don't have this unique ID for each user, it will be difficult because you have to analyze the data's behavior, like the address, the phone number, and try to map them. So that's the main challenge. So try to get that identifier, okay, the ID for each user. Okay, so that's really useful. If you don't have that, it will be difficult. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's right. So that's one of my comments. The other comment I would say is that when you consider about these privacy issues, there are ways to deal with that. For example, you can use like further learning, like you can use this type of technique, so you don't have to share the details of all the data, but still can use some of the information from different sources. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much my main comments about this. But overall, I think it's really interesting if you can provide a personalized dashboard. Okay, good job.
Thank you, Victor. So basically, the data integration is one thing we consider as the hardest part, because the data itself is a lot of data, and of course it comes with different format, with different ID, and that's why we divide our group into those mini groups. So the one group that handle the integration data could focus on those issues. But thank you for reminding us, Victor, and the data security as well. Because I don't know if we can we can do something on the confidential data, not only doing the agreement or MOU that will take a lot of time, but we can select and filter the data that could be accessed publicly. Thank you, Victor.
Mhm.
Okay. Pedro, do you have any comments? Maybe quick ones.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm going to make quick ones because I know it's lack of time, and Victor already picked up a little bit what I was going to say, because I was picking up also in data integration, which I think Phil already said that this is a big issue, and I agree. And I think you should be even more. My question would be centered even what you called about data quality. I didn't get very much what you're going to do about that, because when I see data quality, I think like the big scenario of what you consider data integration from everywhere. It will basically define all the data integration that you have, if it is valid or not. If it is if you do everything you do in here, all the mapping and at the end it is not worthy, it means that everything else, all the phases, will not go ahead. So when you talk about assess of quality, it's a little bit hidden here, but it's, for me, it's like kind of 99% of center point.
Yeah. Thank you, Pedro. So Pedro, in developing country, the problem is always the data availability. When I'm studying in UK, and my first supervisor question is about, do you have the data? Because he knows that in developing country the data is very limited. I mean, maybe we have a lot of maybe we have a data, but in certain period it's gone. No one gain it for us. No one looks after the data, and from the perspective of mini group of the data integration, they see that the quality data should be assessed. If if the data have so many gap and so many uncertainty, we need to drop it. I mean, based on the data quality. Maybe that's the explanation about your concern.
Well, it can be for many ways. It's something that I can't know at this stage because you still are ongoing, but it's, for me, it will be the biggest concern that I will check it out. How are you going to manage that? So not only have it or find a way, and yeah, you probably have a different approach in UK, but for example, in Portugal, it's also a problem. I think it will be always a challenge in everywhere. You get, if it is not something, it is something else. It's basically the principle. But yeah, just take care of that and believe it will be okay.
Yeah, thank you, Pedro, for your advices. Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yes.
Bu Chininta.
I'd like to adding about the quality of data. Actually, there is a peraturan apa teh?
Regulation.
Regulation about the Bali 1 data, which from the governor of Bali already stated there is a standard operation procedure how to produce the data, how to interpret and validate the data. As long as we have the same concern, the validation of data will be assessed by a local agency in province, Bali province. Every data which they agree to display in this dashboard or in the Bali 1 data website will be assessed by the statistic agency in a different level. First, the province levels, and then the city and the kabupaten level.
Municipals.
And also there is a a local agency such as planning agency or culture agency or many local agency who produce the data have to validate their data first before they enter or submit the data to Bali Satu Data website. And then there is a SPBE team from the information and technology agency, local agency from Bali province will assess and decide if this data will be present or not. There is also a forum, Bali Satu Data Forum in Bali province and the city province level to make sure which data will be present, which data will be when the data will be assessed and validated to present not only to the executive level but also to public. You can access the Bali Satu Data website in Google, but maybe yes, of course, the data not certified enough to us to present, but it's still growing. We already have meeting for the SPBE then, and like Hafil said, it is the problem that face all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Bu Chininta.
Thank you, Sunita. It was very, very, very long and clear. Rinda, do you let me just to tell 2 minutes about this and add something that it can be global to everyone? Very quickly.
Yes. Yes.
So I appreciate this explanation of Sunita. It was very euphoric. It was very interesting. It seems that you have actually too many information that you already gather, which means that you can create a document about this and put it in the PKC. And about that, the document that you can make in PKC, which is something that I will tell globally to all the groups, is that nobody is actually hyperlinking in the PKC. And it's something that you should use because it's a way that you don't make so much text and you put secondary information into another page. And in this case, for example, when you talk about quality, which is basically supposed to be a bigger shepherd, you can hyperlink some issues to another page about, for example, assess quality in your project. And this dynamic of hyperlink is something that we want to count and incentivize because it's basically what we can dynamize a little bit more the idea of PKC. Okay, just that.
Thank you, Pedro.
Thank you.
We'll complete the PKC. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Group 2, Power Bush. 1, 2, whoosh.